Thank you for joining us today for our seminar in the Journey to Science series at Onondaga Community College. This seminar is sponsored by the Bridges to Baccalaureate Grant. Today, we are welcoming one of our own, second-year OCC student, Jamiya Chandler. Jamiya, born and raised in Syracuse, completed the Bridges to Baccalaureate summer research internship at Binghamton University this summer, and she's here to share her experience. Welcome, Jamiya.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Jamiya. If you'd like to share a little bit about what the internship was, where did you go, how long were you there for, and kind of what you did on a daily basis.
So I went to Binghamton, Binghamton, New York. It was my first time going there, honestly. And when I first thought about the internship, I was like, this is a great opportunity for me to get in some new experience with furthering my studies with wanting to handle animals, and also seeing like what scientists go through to help humans like you survive, or just to better understand the brain. So I went there with the idea of going somewhere new that I've never been before, and just the experience completely. And I'll go to C-Step. So that's where I got the internship information from, and they helped me get into the program. Um, while I was there, well, the application process was pretty easy. It was pretty easy for me. I really only had to fill out questions on the application, like, my name, my email, phone, health records, like your shots and stuff, especially the COVID shot and the booster. Um, and then if I wanted to be housed with certain roommates or random people, or if I'm okay with people having animals, what's they called? Special animals, that they emotional support animals. There you go. Um and that was easy. That was like 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes, depending on if you got the information or not. And then it was a lot of tedious back and forth, scan this paper, send it, sign this paper, scan it, send it, and waiting for it. I'm lucky to have gotten to the program when I got into it, because I'm pretty sure that when I went to apply, I got in a little late, and I think my GPA was like 1 point below the minimum, but they seen that I pretty much did well in the bio program that summer, not summer, that spring semester. So they put me in there. Um, I would say, if I had to give it 1 to 10, I would give it an 8.5, nice 8.5. And I would recommend it for those who are interested in science and want to be a scientist of some sort, whether it's handling human mental problems, physical, um, maybe even finding new medicines to cure people. I definitely recommend you go to Bridges, because you can get with the right people and the right professor, and they basically, if you do good, then you will get the connects. They will ask you to come stay and work in the lab, or just come to Bridges, period. Because even if you do the program and you didn't find anything that you liked in that program, you can still go to Bridges. Basically, you're guaranteed to go to Bridges and get accepted, and you can find some other school on their campus that you want to be a part of. It was multiple professors there to begin with. During the process of like the orientation, we had to pick our professors and which ones that we wanted to be with. I automatically was like, well, anything that got to do with rats, I want to do it, because that's me handling animals. So I want to do it regardless. Um, the professor that I picked had to do with, it was the levels of dopamine affected by ethanol. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it was something different, but it's dopamine, ethanol, and rats. And mostly the things that I had to do, I had to just it was a certain time of day. I had to go down with the rats. I had to give them water, and I had to give them ethanol, 20% ethanol. And that was usually, it alternated. So it was every other day I gave them water and ethanol for 24 hours. And then I switch and give them just water for the next day. And when I first do it, I give them the bottles, I give them the water and ethanol bottles for the first 30 minutes, wait to see how much they drink, weigh them again, and then put them back up there for them to drink the 24 hours. And honestly, it wasn't much handling that I had to do with the rats, but besides picking them up and weighing them, I, rats are fat. They get very fat. I never thought that rats get that fat, but I learned a lot while I was there about rats completely. Like, I don't know why I thought the rats was just aggressive. They didn't appreciate being touched. They felt like if you were bigger than them, there's beef. No, they're actually very cuddly, especially the males. I handled I did a little bit of handling the first week, the first 2 weeks, and I was handling how to hold them correctly, how to calm them down, and just getting the feel of them. And the males are very much cuddly. The girls, they got anxiety, but like that they're more cautious than the males. You would think the males would be cautious, like, don't touch me. Like, I don't know who you are, where you came from. I don't know if you're trying to eat me. But the females they was just on time and they wanted to go. The males didn't care. They wanted you to keep touching them. Um so when I had to go downstairs and give the rats down there the bottles, they kind of were like, they're actually smart. Rats are very smart, because one of them figured out how to take like the lid off of the bottle that he didn't like. So you're not really supposed to name him, but he had a name deep in my heart. He had a name, and I call him Smarts, because I don't know why he did that, but he did. So we had to go through extra measures with his bottles specifically because he knew how to do it. Um, the Bridges program, it was multiple other professors though. I know one of the students there, they had a project where it looks at the mind of humans, and they asked people to volunteer, and they would they paid us to volunteer. So they had to, something about the bigger picture. Like, kids, when they're growing, they don't see the bigger picture. They see just one certain thing. Like, if there's a forest, they're looking at one tree. They're not looking at all the trees. But as you grow, you look your depth perception, you look at all the trees and not just one specific tree. So you can switch between that. But because kids play Minecraft and Roblox, they believe that it's messing up the way not our generation, but I'm pretty sure another generation of kids are perceiving things. So they did like this test run, and I I messed up their scores a little bit, but when they had other people doing it, it was pretty interesting and it was actually really fun. So when you go to Bridges, be expecting some people might ask you, like, can you come help me with my project? I need like data and stuff. If you're a gamer, I'm sure you'll be able to do it. Like, I blast right through it. So it is what it is. And they also have you make your own game from what she told me. So that was pretty cool. So if you're a gamer, you should try getting into there too.
Now, can I ask about this? It's really interesting. So not only were you able to get some hands-on experience with your preferred projects, which involve big, giant, fat, cuddly rats, but it sounds like you also were able to meet other people and kind of see what their projects were. And do you mind if I share some of the pictures?
Yeah, go ahead.
So if you want to talk a little bit about, the other people that you met and, kind of the day-to-day, like, were you in the lab all the time? Did you have any fun?
So we didn't have work the week. Some people had, like, if they wanted to, they could have worked the weekends, but mostly I was not working the weekends and I had weekdays. So I would go in from 11 to 6 and then I will go right back. So in this left picture, it's Maria. And then Maria's my roommate. I met her at CSET. Shout out to CSET with her little shirt on. And this is Raina. Raina was another one of the Bridges students, and they had us all in relatively the same apartments. So it wasn't like you were gonna walk outside and a Bridges student be all the way down the street. No, they were probably below you or above you. And I made friends with her and her roommates, and we would play a lot of game nights. So most of the time after work, I'd have a game night to attend, and they called me the quote unquote popular girl because I was so social and I was talking to everybody. So if you go to Bridges, talk to everybody. I promise you. Uno, get lit at night. Um, and right there in these two pictures, we were doing a scavenger hunt that they had with the apartment. The RAs of the apartment had a scavenger hunt, and it was kind of like in the summer semester scavenger hunt thing. So we had to find where the class of, I think, 1997 gift was. It was a rock. So we just sat on the bench and took a picture of the bench. And then we had to find the biggest greenhouse. And this was, they only had, I think they only have one official greenhouse, and it was this one. It's really beautiful. I never been inside, but I looked through the windows a couple times because my building is right behind it, and it's really beautiful in there. They have a lot of plants in there. I don't know what plants is in there, but some of them be all pink, blue, and purple. I be staring. And here is one of the game nights we had, and we all got in the Uber. And we went to Taco Bell because we was hungry, and Denny's wasn't open because they was down for like maintenance or something. So we all got in the Uber, and this Uber guy was so cool. And then the one on the picture on the right, Raina, Naisha right there in the little colored shirt. I'm still talking to her. And so, when y'all make friends there, keep in touch with them. They're actually really cool. And we was doing a ropes course. So every week, every Wednesday, they had us doing some sort of fun activity to do. And this was the very first one that we had, and it was a ropes course. So we had to go all around the tree. It was a triangle all around the three trees, and we had to stay on the platform while also getting other people on the platform. But our group was so big, we had some people standing on the outside, so they kind of didn't count until it was time for them to come in. And then the one that was on the left, that was also a part of the scavenger hunt. And then these two is a part of the scavenger hunt too, because they have a lot of gazebos. They have like a lot of gazebos at Binghamton. I was only able to find that one, but apparently there was like 8. And then we had to take a picture in the laundry rooms of every building. I don't know what building this was, but I'm pretty sure this probably was Brandywine, I think. But we just had to take the pictures and get the points and stuff. Me, Raina, and Maria, we was all on the same team, and we ended up being like second. But the people who was first, they were already at Binghamton, so it is what it is.
It sounds like not only were you able to learn some new things about science and the rats, but make a lot of new friends. Now, how long were you at Binghamton University?
We were only at Binghamton University for like 6 weeks. That was it. It felt longer than that. Honestly, it felt longer than that. Like I was ready to go home some weekends. Like I just don't feel like 6 weeks, but it was actually really nice. Like if you, I don't know, Binghamton, it's not small. It's big, but it's not. I don't know, if you're coming from Syracuse has more than what they have. So don't bother them when it comes to that. But they have some pretty nice places. We even went to the guy who made the Twilight Zone, because apparently he's from Binghamton, and they had what is those, a mystery room kind of thing going on for him, and it was dedicated to him in the Twilight Zone. So we all played it, and it was really nice. It was fun, even though we didn't get past many rooms. We got past like 4, so it was worth it.
Now that you're back in Syracuse and you're back at OCC taking classes, how has this experience of a summer research shaped what you're going to do? What are your plans, and how do you feel about research fitting into that?
I haven't changed my plans. I can say slightly. It did change my plans, because the more I've been at OCC, the more I've been like, maybe you want to be a zoologist instead of a zookeeper. So I'm not 100% sure, but I'm kind of leaning more on the zoologist side. But I've been wanting to be a zookeeper since I was like 6th grade. So, that's kind of embedded there. And so researching with the rats and my professor, Anushree, at the time, it was really interesting. And I think Maybe we'll see after I graduate OCC if I decide to be a zoologist or not. But I would say that it helped. It helped help me see that there's more sides to handling animals. It's not just zookeeping or being on a nature preserve and taking care of the animals there. It's a lot of branching out that has to do with animals, and I never knew that. I never knew that there was different ways of helping animals. I just knew you were either a zookeeper who rehabilitate the animals and, take care of the ones that can't be rehabilitated, or you were on like nature preserves, making sure the natural animals that are already there and always there are still there because, poachers and hunters and stuff like that. So it's really branching out for me. So
it'll be exciting to see where your plans lead you next. Now, a lot of students at OCC, they may not have heard of internships before, or maybe they think it's not for them. What advice would you give a student if you were to sit down with them today and they asked about internships?
do it. Do it. Even if it look like you're not going to be interested in it, do it. Do it for the experience, do it for the fun, and do it because not everybody else can have these opportunities that's being handed to you for you to do the internship. And you want to be able to tell your siblings like, "Oh, I went to New Jersey and handled fish at a fishery and then walked the boardwalk and went jet skiing and all this other stuff," because internships, they don't have to be Bridges, they can be other places too. So if you like traveling, you should try it. Give it a try. And it's not like some of them are paid for it, and even the ones that aren't, still you should definitely give it a try because you're branching out and experiencing new things. And again, don't knock it till you try it. So you might go to, I don't know, Buffalo, do some research with trees. You might be a tree person. You might like trees. You want to experience, not experience, but like learn all the other trees: birch trees, oak trees, willow trees. Why willow trees are so, I don't know, killer with the other trees. Like you might want to learn all that, and you think that you don't because it seems boring to you until you get the experience, and now you're just like, wow, I'm actually really interested in this, or some form of it, some part of it. Not only that, but you meet new people that are very much different from you. So you learn to realize that not everybody was raised the way you was, and things that they do is normal to them, which might not be normal to you. Just like things you do are normal to you, but not normal to them. Because honestly, a lot of those people at Binghamton, they were just doing stuff that I said, I don't know. I ain't never do this before. It seems a little weird, but I did try it, and it was nice. So it's some nice people. Be social. Even if you
Oh,
got anxiety about it, be social. Talk to someone who's social. If you got anxiety, talk to someone who's social, and just stick to that person. They'll get you where you want to go with friends.
well, it sounds like you had quite the summer of experiences and growth and making new friends and learning something new about science. Certainly, what an endorsement for trying out an internship. Now, anything else that you'd like to share with our students?
I would say, especially the students that don't really know what they want to do the internships. They'll help you. You might even get the connects. Like Chania Wigfall, because I know some C-Step students is gonna see this. Talk to her. She got the connects with Binghamton, and currently she's doing her own little research for Binghamton at OCC.
Mhm.
And she got her little grants and everything. So if you are really into science and getting further in with your science, talk to her. If you want to do science but not sure how to do it, talk to her. But if you social like me and you just want advice on what you should do, you talk to me. I'll help you.
Thank you very, very much for sharing your experience, Jamiya, and taking the time to share with our students. And if anybody has an interest in internships or any questions at all, feel free to approach any of your science professors, send me an email, approach any of the students in the C-STEP program. We'll make sure you get connected with the right person. Thank you so much for watching today.